This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welt and Rayom. I'd like to wish you a happy holiday season and a healthy and prosperous new year from your favorite lawyers at Welt and Rayom.
It starts every morning before the sun comes up. Projects are laid out. Plans are made. Equipment is fueled and loaded with inventory to handle all service requests. Orders are given to an army of skilled landscape maintenance professionals, certified arbor trimmers, irrigation technicians, and licensed pest management experts who fan out to communities and businesses all over South Florida. Experienced, on time, and dependable. Our staff is fully trained, licensed, and insured. Contact us by phone, email, social media, or through our website to answer all your landscape questions. We are Cutter's Edge. Total Landscape Solutions.
Oh, I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield Home Security System guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
The lost city of Atlantis reveals its secrets at Toyota of Hollywood. Get legendary deals on over 2,000 Toyotas, like a 2024 Corolla, not $24,000, $20,988. Unlock the wonders of 0% financing for 5 full years, 0 down. Rediscover Atlantis at Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welt and Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welt and Rayom can help.
There's just one place to get our lowest payment on the new 2024 Acura ZDX, $299 a month. It's the Season of Performance event at Acura of Pembroke Pines, #1 in the USA.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors and Custom Drywall can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray or Mike, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors and Custom Drywall, 305-345-3649. Or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Good morning, boys and girls. Welcome aboard. It is Monday, December 23rd. So we're a couple days before Christmas, before you get your gifts under the tree, right? That's what it is. Actually, we have some gifts under our tree already, which is good stuff. We actually put out the tree this year. We haven't done the tree in a few years. So we felt like making the effort this year of putting out the tree. So we were able to put out the tree. And of course, there's a Bitcoin ornament in the tree too, of course. You know, we got to have that. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, welcome aboard. The Miami Dolphins got it done. They got it done. That was fun. I didn't think they would win. I didn't think they were going to win that game yesterday. And they came out and played a pretty solid game overall and got it done. They ran the ball, which is why I thought they would probably lose the game, because they weren't, going to be able to have success on the ground. And that was fun, man. Achan was absolutely awesome yesterday. He put on a show, and for him to bust it out at the end and score the game sealing touchdown to kind of like end that thing, that was good. That was very good. Tyreek Hill did everything possible to hand San Francisco the game. The good thing is there were 52 men on the field playing for the Dolphins, and Oh, well, actually, I'm sorry. 44 men playing for the Dolphins, one that wasn't, right? Because 45 that are active, 53 is the thing, but 45 are active, right? So 44 were fighting for a victory. One was the goofball that he is, trying to just give it away. He felt red hot chili peppers yesterday. He wanted to give it away now. And the rest of the team said, no, dude, no. We're not giving it away. So they won, and that was good yesterday. That was a lot of fun. I understand what's going on. We have a torn Dolphin Nation because I got it from my friends. I got it from some of you on the DMs. I got it from some of you on my texts, some of you on Facebook, some of you on whatever. I mean, there's so many different platforms and different ways and, WhatsApp and everything, It's kind of twisted what's going on because there are fans that don't want him to win because they want a better draft pick. There are fans that don't want him to win because they think it's a waste of time winning. There are fans that are saying, who cares if they even make the playoffs? They're not going to do anything. And, it's just kind of twisted. I got to say. And listen, I have my own complaints, my own gripes. It's one of those things that's kind of odd. Everybody has different gripes. Most everybody is unhappy about everything going on. So even in the midst of a victory, I got like a lot of negativity from people. It was just like, and they're like, don't you think that it's stupid that they win instead? And I go, but what do you want them to do, dude? They're professionals. They're not going to just go out there and lay an egg. They got all that film is their resume. So if the guard's not blocking, or if the defensive tackle's not making a tackle, or if the corner is missing, or if he's just doing stupid things out there, or the receiver's not running right routes and all that, and they become free agents, that tape is their resume. You can't ask people to quit just because, I'm not a big Mike McDaniel fan. And what are you going to do? As we've been talking about, they're all coming back. You know what I'm saying? Whether you like it or not, it is what it is. And pretty much everybody's told you, and I told you, that the only way there's a chance they would make some kind of a change, you got to lose yesterday and lose one of the next two or all three. And then maybe Stephen Ross sits back and says, hey, maybe I do, but you won this one. You're going to win one of the next two, maybe both. There's no chance. So, but it's really twisted. I mean, I think this is the weirdest reaction to a victory that I've seen from people that I know. It's odd. It's odd. But listen, like I said yesterday, I am not going to root for Calais Campbell to not win or try, or Zach Sealer, or Devon Achane, or Tua Tagovailoa. There's a lot of guys on this team that are busting their ass and they're trying and they're making plays. So what am I supposed to do? Now root for Kader Kohu to get that interception? No, yeah, I am. Yeah. Kader's had a rough one, man. After a great rookie season, he went through a rough one last year with the whole, old man stuff. And then this year you get a new system in and he's kind of adjusted and he's had some good moments. He's had, some negative moments, but he's still growing as a player. I'm excited for him. So, Chop Robinson is playing his ass off. You want the rookie to just turn it off and not get after the quarterback? I don't think so. So in order for him to do it, he saved 4 points yesterday. He stopped that touchdown to Kittle. So what do you want to do? That's what I told my buddy yesterday. I go, dude, what do you want him to do? You want Chop not to go after the deflection and not get a sack? Is that what you want? Then you can't have it both ways, because if he doesn't get the deflection to save the touchdown, he doesn't get a sack, and he doesn't start doing stuff, then you're complaining about his draft status. Oh, he's a bust. Now he's playing his ass off. He's making plays. You can't be pissed about it. You can't do this. You can't do this. You can't want people to suck and then you want to then pick on them for sucking because they gave up. Because what are we doing to Tyreek? What he deserves, right? Because Tyreek is lazy. Because Tyreek really doesn't have great concentration. And by the way, he doesn't have great hands. He's been dropping passes and key passes since year one. I'm more pissed at Tyreek Hill than anything else. I'm not pissed at the Dolphins for trying to win. They're professionals. Aren't you a professional? Don't you get paid to go do your job every damn day? And if you hang around and don't do your job and you're coasting, well, then you should get fired. That's kind of what should happen. Can't have it both ways, folks. You can't ask people who are getting paid to do a job not to do their job. And then if they don't do their job because they conveniently are losing for you, you then are going to pick on them for not playing well. I'm sorry. Well, wait a minute. What? So if Chop sucks because this is the plan, but now he sucks as a draft pick. Huh? No. And none of you are going to give him a pass and say, oh, no. Chop is coasting because he's on the tank for a better pick. No, dude. Chop Robinson needs to become a better player. And this is his rookie year. This is how he builds his foundation. He's got 6 sacks. He's got a chance for 7 or 8 or 9 in the next couple of weeks. And guess what? I hope he gets them. I hope they decide victories. It is what it is. I'm more excited about Chop Robinson. A guy said to me on Twitter, he goes, we should have had AVG. But now that I think about it, if we have AVG, we don't get Chop, which is true. You wouldn't have both, actually, because you wouldn't need to draft Chop because you lost AVG. You know what I'm saying? But if you kept AVG, you might not have drafted Chop. And so AVG's 29. Chop is a youngin'. So that's kind of the trade-off. Okay, well, they'll get some production over the next year or two. You will get a younger Chop. That's kind of the way it goes. Can't, one thing leads to another, as the fix would say. So you can't ask the team not to try. You're going to ask Achane to coast. You're going to ask Zach Sealer to not try. You're going to ask Calais Campbell to not try. Really? Is that what we're going to do? We're going to tell Jordan Brooks to not try? No, not doing that. That doesn't make any sense. I get it. Listen, we've all been that person that gave 2 weeks notice. Okay? And that second week that you gave the notice, I mean, there's some serious coasting doing. Okay? That week that you're gone and you're not really working that hard that week, okay? So I get it. It happens. That's human nature. You gave your 2 weeks, you got a week left. Oh man, I'm out of here. You know what I'm saying? So that happens to a lot of people, but so the reaction was kind of funny from some of my folks around the world yesterday, which was just kind of hilarious. Oh man, too funny. Don't forget, folks, Toyota of Hollywood is a proud sponsor of our program. Herbie Lopez does an awesome job out there at Toyota of Hollywood, 1841 North State Road 7. They're right on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan, and their service center is amazing. The place is, it's so ginormous. And when it's like that, it's awesome. Okay, I want a Corolla. Okay, I want one with a sunroof. I don't want one with a sunroof. I want the leather package. How about the LE right now which you could get it for $185 a month right now, 39-month lease. Take advantage. The Camry LE. Folks, you're going to walk in there and you're going to see a ton of Camrys. 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 100 Camrys. And you're going to see all kinds of colors and combinations and models and styles. And it's a beautiful thing. The Camry LE right now, $249 a month. The RAV4, beautiful vehicle, $275 a month for the LE. The Tacoma SR, $234 a month. We got some great deals going on right now, 39-month leases. Get on down there, check out the new vehicles, over 1,200 new vehicles, 2,000 vehicles in there when you add the certified pre-owned. And what you're going to love is the selection. So when you want a RAV4 and you go out there, there's like 75 of them, and you get to pick whichever kind you like. That's so amazing. So go check out my friends at Toyota of Hollywood. All right. Don't forget, you can make a donation to the show besides visiting the great dealership that is Toyota of Hollywood. That's a great way to support us and our amazing sponsors. But also, you can make a donation through Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation, which there's a nice little dip going on right now with Bitcoin and some of the altcoins. Take advantage. I think we're like at 94 or 95 or something like that, which is a beautiful thing. Ooh, 93.4 now. So perfect time to make a donation. And you can also make a donation through PayPal. Use the QR codes there. As always, send in your comments, your questions, your insults, all kinds of good stuff as always. And we appreciate the immense support that you all give us every single day. Hateful Steve starting it off here on Venmo. Thank you, Steve. He says, you know something, though? I can cheer for a struggling Panthers team to squeak into the playoffs because I know what they're capable of. I already know where you're coming from, and you're already making a lot of sense. I feel for the players, but if they played like this against Green Bay, Buffalo, or Texas, we wouldn't be where we are. Yeah, I understand that. I totally understand that. I totally understand how you feel, but you can't expect them to just give up. You can't. They've got to be professionals too. And they've got to try. And when they lost to Buffalo, it's because they're not better. And when they lost to Texans, it's because they're not better. And they lost to Green Bay, it's because they're not better. Bottom line, that's all. You know, you don't have a coach that can get them to that point. Could they be better? Yeah, they could have. They should have won the second Buffalo game, actually. Shit happens, man. You know? Not good enough. Got to get it done. But that's been the story of our lives for 40 years, practically. Barely good enough to get in. Barely good enough to be just outside. And always choking out to the better teams. And it doesn't matter if it's Marino, if it's Fiedler, if it's Pennington, if it's Tua, if it's Cutler. It doesn't matter who it is. Does not matter who it is. You know, our team has been like that from the get-go. And every time they face the superior teams, they crumble. It's just the way it goes, you know. And it doesn't matter if we're Woodstock in 82, and it doesn't matter if you're Marino taking on the Niners, and it doesn't matter if you're Marino and company taking on the Buffalo Bills in the early 90s. It doesn't matter if you're Marino taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. And it doesn't matter if you're Chad Pennington taking on the Baltimore Ravens in the playoffs. You know, embarrassment after embarrassment after embarrassment has been going on for 40 years here. In all big moments with every single player we've ever had. It's watching Kimbo Camper get stripped by Joe Theismann. It's just the stuff that's so fucking Dolphins. It's just been like that, dude. For 40 years, it's been like that. 40 years of sorry-ass plays in big moments, sorry-ass performances in big moments. This is nothing new. Nothing new at all. It's the Dolphins with a chance to go meet the Bears, you know, because they beat them the first time in the regular season. They were the only AFC team that would have a chance. And what did they do? They choked like a dog against the Patriots. 4 fumbles or whatever it was, just choking like a dog. This is who we've been for 40 years. So if I'm going to sit here and root for every game for them to lose because I'm not satisfied with the season, Steve, I haven't been satisfied with any Dolphin season for a long time. When Marino and company went 9-2 and we were all jacked about the season, and then how did they end it? By losing 5 straight. And here we go, December. Just in case for you young people, I just want to remind you that it used to happen with the ultimate quarterback that we've ever had. The ultimate quarterback we've ever had. Because the team's not good enough. Nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. Nothing has changed whatsoever. It's just that we tend to have, what's that called? Selective memory. But, it's all here. I remember all the pain, dude. I remember being in shootouts with Jet teams. They had no business being in shootouts with the Dolphins. But it's so Dolphins that you would end up in shootouts and lose games to the Jets you're not supposed to lose. Because it's so Dolphins. I'm talking about Marino games. So Dolphins. You mean Wesley Walker with one eye is burning the Dolphins left and right? Come on, man. Listen, maybe most in the media haven't lived it. Not maybe. Most in the media haven't lived it. Only a few of us have lived it. Actually watched it all. And some of us know exactly what's gone on. Nothing's changed, dude. Faces change, but the same Dolphins have been the same Dolphins for 40 years. Same Dolphins. So it's what it's what we're stuck with, unfortunately. So we'll see what happens now, these next 2 games. And, hope for the best, my brother. Hope for the best. That's all we can do is hope for the best. All right. What else do we have here going on? Remember, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. And you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation, which we always appreciate that. Thank you all as always. Let me see what we got here. Super Chat. Anthony Kyle Campos. Thank you, sir. The T. Hill criticism has to stop. He has to play Santa for 12 kids. LOL. He's anxious. Merry Xmas, Big O. The excuses. Tyreek Hill. That's like hiring William Quigley here at Cutter's Edge Pro, and you go out to your yard and your bushes are all fucked up and everything's all burnt and screw. And then he looks at you and says, "Oh, I had a bad day. Oh, I didn't sleep well today." You're not going to get that because Cutter's Edge is expect excellence. Unlike Tyreek Hill, who has no idea what excellence is. But he knows what excuses are. That's for sure. You don't get that with Cutter's Edge Pro. They know how to do it, and they do it right every single time. That's why they dominate South Florida. That's why they've got like over 70 trucks. Okay? They do it right. Tyreek Hill, well, he's got a bunch of excuses. Sad, dude. It's sad that that guy has no scruples, no real leadership qualities. This dude wants to he wants to be a coach. This guy can't keep his pecker in his pants. This guy has zero discipline in his life. He is an absolute disaster. This is a guy that's had 5 kids in the last year, apparently, reportedly. What's he got, 12 kids with 8 or 9 baby mamas? This guy's going to be so broke. Doesn't matter how much money he's making. He's going to be so broke. It's not even funny. Okay? I wouldn't even be surprised that relationship he has now, she gets tired of all the BS, and that divorce ain't going to go well for him. I mean, how she puts up with all those other baby mamas and everything else, it's the weirdest thing out there. You know? I can tell she's not Cuban. So I know the kind of women from there, they're not going to put up with that. No, 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 no. So Tyreek Hill's a disaster. And yesterday, he drops 3 passes. And by the way, drops 2 touchdowns. I'm not giving him a break whatsoever on the tip. Do you know why I'm not giving him a break on the tip? Because he drops all the easy ones. So what Tyreek Hill has constantly proven to all of us is that he doesn't have elite hands. And why I also wanted to not give him the guaranteed money is because he is interchangeable. You can go get other receivers. Too many of you made it sound like he's the one and only, and you've got to have him, and that's your problem. He's not the one and only. He ends up costing you a lot. Whereas you think the positives outweigh the negatives, and they really don't outweigh the negatives that much, to be quite honest. When you look at his total body of work compared to his total body of disaster, it's really not that much of a difference. He actually loses games for you too. And yesterday he did his best to lose that game. Not that he was trying or anything. It's just this is who he is. A couple weeks ago, he runs the wrong route into an interception. He is untrustworthy, not just in his relationships, but professionally. Not just in the street driving, just in general, period. He cannot be trusted in any way, shape, or form. And the worst part about people like this is that they constantly lie and they refuse to take accountability. Let's hear from Tyreek Hill. Let's hear his latest list of excuses on why he's a CFU.
In those moments, I feel like at the end of the day, I need, those valuable reps with Tua. Those vet rest days are starting to show. And, I completely blame myself for not getting my head around, and not seeing the ball. Because if I see the ball, we talking cross court, 70-yard touchdown. But those Wednesday reps are definitely showing, and as a leader, I just got to be able to, bite the bullet sometime and, practice and get those valuable reps, with QB1, because if we're able to stay on the field on third down, who knows what can happen. Like Devon A-Chain can break 60 yards, Jonu can, catch a screen and go to the house. So just got to be able to, get those valuable reps with the quarterback.
So I'm sorry, you didn't see the one that went right through your hands, like right basket through? You didn't see that one either? And all the other ones? All by your lonesome in Kansas City, downfield, Tua puts it right there. Easy 3 or 7 from there in a really tight game. Can't hang on to a screen. You get stripped. Boom. Kind of like you got stripped from Darryl Stingley Jr. last week. Is it Darryl? That's his dad. I forgot. I don't even know if it is Darryl. It is? Okay. I mean,
he's a junior.
Right. Okay. It's just, come on, dude. Your excuses are hollow as hell, bro. All that guy does is run his mouth, and he doesn't back shit up. All he does is constantly screw up, and then he comes back to tell you that he promises he's going to be better and that he's not going to make these mistakes, and then he just continues to make mistakes, continue to be a screw up on the field and off the field. That's all Tyreek Hill is. He's an expensive screw up. That's it. It's just that he put up so many stats that we all tolerate it, but he's a complete fuck up, dude. Tyreek Hill is a complete fuck up. He is a joke of a human being. Let's just call it like we see it, dude. Why don't you go screw 100 chicks and go get them all pregnant? Let's see how your wife reacts to that. Let's see how your family reacts to that. We just sweep it under the rug like it's nothing. Invite an IG model, break her leg. I mean, end up in a lawsuit. Why don't you go attack somebody on a pier? And again, lucky they stopped him twice because that was going to be a really ugly situation. But hey, let's overlook it because his anger issues mustn't be an issue. I mentioned it then. It went right over. Why? Because he catches passes. So they excuse it all. Everyone except me, of course, but most everyone excuses the complete screw up. And then the Dolphins guaranteed him more money this year and next year and the year after. So all you did was tell him, keep being you, dude. Keep being you. Yeah, we want to see you in the headlines all the time that you have a new baby mama. We want to see in the headlines all the time that you were speeding in a game situation, in the street, in a game where people are there. And you could maybe run over somebody, create some problems. That's what we want to see. We want to see your entourage getting in fights at a comedy club. That's what we all want to see. We want to see that your star receiver had an incident with an IG model and you broke her leg. It's what we want to see. We want to see you file for divorce and then blame somebody else for it. Because, of course, we're all stupid and we're all going to believe that somebody else filed for the divorce. And then we're all going to sweep it under the rug like nothing to see here. It's all normal behavior. Everyone acts like this. Okay? Everyone, every Miami Dolphin has impregnated half of Dade County. All of them. Everyone. What Tyreek does, folks, everyone does. Everyone assaults people at a fishing pier. Everyone does it. This is what we do. This is what we do. And because you are an enabler, Miami Dolphins, front office, ownership, coaches, players, media, Tyreek continues to, I can get away with it. 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 And now you give him all that money and you guaranteed it. Now you're stuck with him. And now you got to tolerate all the stupid shit that he continues to do. And you can't even get out of it, and you can't trade him because, again, by the way, stop saying that. You sound stupid. Nobody wants Tyreek Hill. Nobody. Okay? So stop it already with that. Stop sounding stupid and looking stupid. Nobody wants Tyreek Hill at all. Nobody will trade for Tyreek Hill. Why the hell would you? An aging receiver with a ton of baggage that can't catch the ball on a consistent basis. That's it. And the tip pass was a drop. It was slightly tipped, but since he can't catch the easy ones and he constantly proves he doesn't have elite hands, well, then, of course, he's going to drop that one because he doesn't have elite hands. If he had elite hands, Stingley wouldn't have stripped him. If he had elite hands, you would have won the Kansas City game last year, the first one. But he doesn't have elite hands, and he's a constant screw-up. Tua, by the way, was asked, because, of course, it's, we always have to direct everything because, it must be Tua's fault that Tyreek is such a screw-up, right? It's always, everything is Tua's fault, right? So Tua was also asked about Tyreek and the drops and not getting enough reps and those kind of things. Here's Tua's response.
Yeah, if he told you that, then that's what we need more of. We need reps. Me and him need more reps. That's what we got to do. That's the secret sauce to me being able to connect with all these guys. You guys see Jonnu here, like that's the secret sauce. If we if we miss a throw, if we're off on a throw in the team practice or in a routes on air rep, like we'll get together in whatever time we have, whether it's after or during while the defense is on, and we'll get those reps made up. Telling him what I see, and then him also telling me how he feels with running it. So that has a lot to do with reps for sure.
Hey, by the way, we're not talking about fucking Anthony Richardson here, and forgive my French. Tyreek full of shit. Okay? What happens 95% of the time, he's on target. Is he going to miss a guy? Yeah, of course, Tua's going to miss you once in a freaking blue moon. He's going to be off. But accuracy's not an issue. Ball placement's not an issue. The ball's there. He's just not making the catches. Has nothing to do with Tua. Has nothing to do with his reps. Tua apparently has gotten enough reps with Tyreek because he's on target. The ball was there. You should have caught it, dude. You should have caught it. Tua did his job. Tyreek's the one that doesn't do his job more often than not. Tyreek's the one that constantly fails at his job more often than not. So, it's not a Tua thing. I know that some of you all want to make everything a Tua thing. This is all a Tyreek thing. Okay? Maybe you should be on the jugs machine a lot after. Instead of worrying about having sex with other women that isn't your wife and having, procreation, that's all you're worried. You should be worried about catching a ball. I don't know. Work on the jugs machine, not someone else's jugs. That might be the better jugs that you can work at. I understand the other jugs are really fun. I get it. But you may want to hold off from those jugs. You may want to work on the jugs machine. I don't know. Might help, dude. Might help you, Tyreek. Might help you. Let's see. Derek Stingley. I said Daryl. Thank you, Denardo. Muchas gracias. I appreciate it. Let's see. David Sorensen says Brandon Jones balling for Denver and Iggy starting in Washington. Although he kind of had a screw up yesterday too, Iggy. Let's see. It's probably hard to concentrate when you have that many kids. Yeah, I know I wouldn't be able to concentrate. That's for sure. Let's see. Ocala Joe, Tyreek a leader. If he's a leader, I'm a walrus. Cuckoo, ka-choo. Let's see. Hill, another Andre Bad Moon rising. So Tyreek is a reason for our disappointment season. No, he's one of the reasons for your disappointing seasons. But in the end, I don't think anybody said that. See, this is what I love about like some of you out there, like Kenna Rankin, and you threw it in there. Your fault. We get dumbasses. Like, did I say anything that Tyreek is a reason for your entire season? At any point did I say? But see, that's what I love about dumbasses. They watch or listen to something, and then they run off and they go, and now, you know, this stupid ass here, Kenna Rankin, this dumb motherfucker will go and tell his friend and say, hey, you know, O said that the whole season is Tyreek Hill's fault, which I never said that. I just said Tyreek Hill's a constant screw up. He's been constantly screwing up and dropping balls for 3 years, and he's a disappointment, and they should have never guaranteed him the money. That's it. But see, that's what I love about idiots like Kenna Rankin. So then all of a sudden, it's all on Tyreek Hill the entire season, which I don't know. Did I say that at any point that the disappointing season is all on Tyreek? I think somehow or another, I think I've been blaming it on Mike McDaniel the entire time. But that's what I love about some of you. You hear what you want, then you create your own narrative, and you go off and running. But it's good that I caught Kenna Rankin, because maybe Kenna Rankin can pump the brakes now and say, oh, shit, I've been called out. I think I said something I wasn't, and maybe I'm off and running with something else here. So Kenna Rankin, just so your dumbass knows, I never said anything like that. I'm just picking on Tyreek for being a moron. That's it, because he's a moron. And the Dolphins are freaking stupid for guaranteeing him the money. Are we clear on that? Because I think I've been pretty clear on that from the get-go. Anyway, Ray Grullon, I can picture Tua asking him to stay over after practice and Tyreek doing an exit stage left on his ass, probably. Everybody is better off without Reek. Check out Kansas City. Check it out. They've got 2 titles, working on a third without him. They don't need him. So, yeah, you can move on without Reek. You don't really need Reek. You can go get another receiver and maybe one that's more reliable. Just you don't need the flashiness. Yeah, you can move on from Tyreek, my brother. That's why, Kenna, you're one of the fools that wanted to pay Tyreek. There you go. So, you know, what you need to say, Kenna, is, damn, I screwed up. I wanted to pay Tyreek, and that was a stupid move by the Dolphins, because paying Tyreek was a stupid move by the Dolphins. Okay, the initial trade, everything went fine. Great. This follow-up here, it's like the Heat. Dude, you made a great trade for Jimmy Butler. You brought him here. You made the run. Boom, that's it. Get off the gravy train. No, they hung on. So you screwed up. So the screw-up is people like you, Kenna, don't know when to get off the gravy train because the Dolphins screwed up. This should be the last 2 games of Tyreek Hill's career with the Miami Dolphins. Unfortunately, he's going to stick around and create more problems for Miami. HN, that's a real stud. Amen to that. That's a guy that plays the right way every single down, unlike Tyreek. Anyway, Big O at NorCal Dolphin Club's watch party yesterday. I turned a few more fans onto your show. They needed to hear it from you. Thank you, my brother. I appreciate you. Thank you. Pat in Nashville, we will get a Monday eruption of Mount St. O, feeling a few tremors. Yes. So, anyway. What can I tell you? But it's always good. It's always good in every day to, you know, end up with morons like Kenna so we can straighten the morons out. Say stupid shit or invent stupid shit. So the whole season, the bad season's on Tyreek. Is that what you're saying? Let's get to our 3A Graphics sports calendar and the amazing Alan Blanco, 786-618-1443. custom printing and embroidery. If your company needs it, your corporation, school, entity, whatever it is, call my guy Alan Blanco. They'll get it done. Dolphins over the Niners, 29-17. They will take on the Browns next week at 4:05. They open up favored by 5.5 points. The over and under is 40.5. On the ice, the real team in town is the Florida Panthers. Everyone else is just a minor league outfit next to the Florida Panthers. That's the only real franchise top to bottom in town. And they defeated the Lightning 4-2. Reinhart with 2 goals, Knight with 19 saves. They will take on Tampa Bay again tonight at 7 o'clock. And man, isn't it beautiful how the tables have turned and all of that? You know, toughness, grit, something that the Dolphins have never had for 40 years. The Panthers used to be the Dolphins for about 20 years. Soft, always would lose tough games, always would get pushed around if they got to the playoffs. And then they shed that Dolphin label and they became tough. And now they are the best franchise in town, top to bottom. They have passed the Heat. They are way ahead of the Heat. It's not even close because the Panthers have real stars. It's impressive. Nice win over the Lightning, and they own the Lightning now. That is fun. Tonight, the Nets and the Heat, as the Heat at 13-13 continue their mediocre ways with a mediocre roster. 7:30 tip. They're favored by 10. The over and under is 214. Miami is minus 440 on the money line. Brooklyn is plus 340. Monday Night Football. Saints are at the Packers. Packers favored by 14. Over and under is 42.5. That is your 3A Graphics sports calendar. Let's see what else. Oh, you should be the GM for the Heat and the Dolphins. With you, we would have won championships. I don't know about championships, but I know this. You would have not re-signed X. That's for sure. You would have not re-signed Butler, and you definitely would not have re-signed or at least guaranteed Tyreek money. You would have gotten off the gravy train at the right time. That we would have done. But unfortunately, our local teams did not get off the gravy train. Just like the Tyler. Look, this weekend was another example. You had like what was it, Sean? 23, 25, 26-point lead on Orlando? I want to say, right? Like 25 maybe? What was it?
Yeah, you're right. 25.
25. And then you get outscored, what was it, 37-8 in the fourth quarter. Where's Bam, dude? Where's Tyler? Tyler, 7 of 17 on a night where you need him because, Jimmy Butler's tummy hurt and he only can play 7 minutes. Bam, 8 of 15 for 23.6 rebounds, 4 turnovers. Oh, he did get 2 steals. Hero gave you 5 assists and 4 turnovers. Neither one of these guys are stars, but, the most delusional fan base I have ever seen in my life is the Heat fan base now. It used to be the Dolphins, but it's the Heat fan base because they think they're championship. They actually believe the shit that they've watched the last few years. Like they think they're a real championship caliber team. It's freaking hilarious. And I mentioned it yesterday. The Heat are now the Miami Dolphins. They're exactly the Miami Dolphins. Exactly, dude. The bubble year is the 82 strike year. The 85 season that they went to the Super Bowl and they got trunked. I mean, just trunked and trumped and bitch slapped and everything by San Francisco is the Heat getting there to Denver. Lucky to get there because breaks with Giannis injured and Embiid. And so you get there and then you get embarrassed because you don't belong anywhere near Denver. Just like the Dolphins didn't belong anywhere near the 49ers. Why? Because the Dolphins were playing in a Mickey Mouse conference in the AFC. And the Heat playing in a Mickey Mouse conference because they went through injured players. And then all of a sudden, Heat fans think they're really good or something. like they used to be with the big three, and they're not. And Dolphin fans thought they were really good at that moment, and they weren't. And it proved as time went on, they proved what they were. And this is what we're going to see with the Heat from now on. This is it right here. They don't learn. They don't know how to get out of this rut. They continue to trade what little picks they have left. They never amass picks. They never amass anything. The Heat are now becoming the Dolphins. That's rough, dude. It's rough because I've lived it as a Dolphins fan, and you live that delusion of what you thought you were and all that, and when first Riley got here up until the big three with Spo, that's the 70s of the Dolphins for the Heat. The early 80s to mid 80s just started right now. The early 90s the early 2020s to the mid 2020s. It's the same shit, dude. Same shit. Your franchise really isn't that good, but you think you are. And you'll find out you're not. And exactly, Shula found out he's not, because Marino's teams were always incomplete. And what do you have now? A team with no stars with the Miami Heat. The parallels are wow. Okay? So we'll see if the Heat could get out of the Dolphin rut, because they're now entering into becoming the Dolphins of the 80s. Okay? I'm just saying. Just saying. The similarities are right there. Let's see what happens. Let's see if the Heat finally figure out how to reset that franchise and take a few steps back. Or they keep doing this stupid shit about putting a Band-Aid on the problem, that it's a scab that needs to be completely ripped off, and they refuse to do it. So we'll see what happens tonight with the Heat and the Brooklyn Nets. Anyway, but it's kind of twisted, man. Anyway, Big O, way we use an A-chain for year 4 will have an 80-year-old niece. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Hopefully they could get a bruising back next year to punish people and then offset it with A-chan. Let's hope so. 9 wins is the absolute basement. 9 wins is unacceptable. That's what it is, my friend. Armed Ape says, not only stuck with Reek, but with the idiot that guaranteed his salary, it will be another 50 years before I see this team hoist a Lombardi. Eric Nordstrom, I remember Dolphins needing to beat the Jets in 90 to get into the playoffs. Jets score winning TD, and I took my beeper. It was a 289. They're going to kill me one day. I took my BP. Oh, my BP, my blood pressure was 289. They're going to kill me one day. Okay. I thought it was beeper. Let's see. Cleveland, 48 degrees. Yeah. But Cleveland's bad, bro. You should win Cleveland. The one I worry about is the Jet game, because that's our history. That's our history. I've seen really good Dolphins teams lose to bad Jets teams. This is not a really good Dolphins team. So that's the game I worry about. I've been telling you that I am super concerned about them sweeping the Jets. They should, but that's the game that I fear the most. Believe it or not. That's the game I fear the most. I think they'll win on Sunday against Cleveland. I really do. I don't think it's about weather. It's just not a good team. But the Jet one, I have so many bad memories, like Eric just mentioned. I've seen better Dolphin teams lose to much lesser Jets teams. And that sucks, dude. It sucks. The way the place kickers are kicking nowadays, do you foresee a kicker in the near future making a 70-yard field goal? For sure. Yeah, it'll happen. One day, right blast, wind's perfect, all that kind of stuff. Of course, it'll happen. Yeah, these guys are getting really, really good, man. Great job by Jason Sandman Sanders last night. I agree, Rosendo. I agree with that. I think that Jason Sanders deserves a victory cigar. Sean Stanley, give Jason Sanders one. Light him up. I like that. I like that, Rosendo. He's gone through some rough patches. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's a good one. I like that one. What else do we have? I'm having flashbacks to 2013 when Ross, after beating the lousy Vikings at home, said everyone was coming back. Well, you know, Nico, now that you brought that up, it's interesting that you brought that up because, as you know, I am not a Mike McDaniel fan. I wouldn't make any changes outside of that one, right? We all have different opinions on that. Some of you don't like the front office and the coach or the owner or whatever and the quarterback or all that. My problem is mainly only with Mike McDaniel, to be quite honest. Well, yesterday we saw something that pretty much like put the nail in the coffin. It's kind of what we've been talking about. We've been telling you that unless there's like this outright, you know, they lose the next 3 games yesterday and the next 2 or 2 out of 3, maybe they can think of making some changes. But outside of that, everybody's coming back. As much as I would want to see Mike Vrabel here instead of McDaniel, and I don't have a lot of hope for McDaniel even for the future. Yesterday in the locker room, we're not going to play the video because we're going to get tagged, right? If we play the stupid video, we get tagged, right? Yeah, so forget it. So McDaniel, you could go watch it yourself. He gives out all the game balls, and then he thinks he's done. And then he hears there's one more game ball. And, you know, Mike has that face like something happened on the field that he had no idea, you know, that face that Mike McDaniel puts. And he looks over, and it's the owner, Stephen Ross. He says, one more game ball, Mike McDaniel. So Stephen Ross tosses the game ball to Mike McDaniel. We have 2 weeks left. The owner tossed the ball to Mike McDaniel. The news is out. That's it. It's over. It's etched in stone. So if you thought there were going to be any changes, there are going to be no changes because they got a good chance of having a winning record. So it'll be a winning record 3 years in a row. If by some chance or whatever things pop their way and they get in the playoffs, it's a winning record 3 years in a row and it's 3 trips to the playoffs. They're not going to fire him because it's not like the Dolphins do that all the time. So they'll hang in there and they're going to bring everybody back. But if the owner is throwing the game ball to Mike McDaniel with 2 games left, that's it. That's it. That's all you need to know right there. Now, you may not feel good about the 2025 season because of that, because McDaniel's coming back, because Greer's coming back, because Tua's coming back, because Ross is still the owner, whatever it is. Okay? I understand all of that. Okay? I may not agree with you on most of it, only on McDaniel, but I get it. I get it. It's a twisted situation that we're all in, but no one can blame anyone for feeling the way they do. Why? It's, you know, it's 10 years of this. It's 20, it's 30, it's 40. I don't know how old you are. But what you've gone through the last 10 years is basically the same crap we've gone through the last 20, 30, and 40 years. What, that we snuck in a Super Bowl trip 2 times where we didn't really belong? Flukish trips? Big deal, bro. Big deal. Who cares, dude? Whatever. We make it out more than it is. And that's what I'm doing to Heat fans now. I'm trying to bring them back to the reality of, yo, you know, your little run with Jimmy Butler, that shit is overrated, dude. It's freaking overrated. Stop it already. It was a hell of a run. You know, the stars aligned for you, but it wasn't real. You made it. It was fantastic. It was awesome. but you overachieved to kingdom come. There was no reality there. Like, you weren't that real team. You just had a lot of scenarios break your way, and you had a nice little run. It's over. Don't make it out more than what it is. And that's what we should have done with 82 and 85. We, as Dolphin fans, made it out more than what it really was. And we should have, like, knocked ourselves down 800 pegs and say, yeah, this team has done nothing yet. They got a long ways to go. And then we learned that lesson the hard way as the years went on. And the Heat fan is now starting to see that. But they won't pick up on it for a few more years. The parallels are just absolutely mind-boggling. They really are. George says, Big O, Hill has sucked this year. Bottom line, also, this team is systematically flawed. It really showed when Tua was out. The incompetence starts up top and trickles down to the product on the field. Thank you, George. Let's see. Would you draft Ashton Genty? Alf brought that up yesterday on the post-game show, and it was a fantastic point because, as you all know, I've been saying that the draft that's upcoming needs to be about the fat boys. Okay? If you want to stop being the disorderlies, you got to go get the fat boys. Okay? Get me a fat guy at guard, get me a fat guy at defensive tackle next to Sealer, and get me a thumper at linebacker next to Brooks. Toughen up the middle of that. So draft those guys or buy a guard too. Now, Alf brought up a great point. If Genty falls to where the Dolphins are at, because he's obviously a beautiful back, and where Miami's going to be is in the middle of the first round to early 20s, that's probably where the back's going to go. Unless somebody takes him top 10. I don't know if they will. But if you have a chance to get a franchise game-changing back like that, I would do it, actually. Because I can get tackles and guards in the second and third rounds, and even fourth rounds. I can get defensive tackles, in the latter rounds. That's not something that's hard to do. You got Zach Sealer from the street. You got what's this guy's name in the fifth round? A few years ago. God, big dude, bro. He used to stand sideways at defensive tackle, and then he started upright. He had an odd style. Paul Soliai turned into a hell of a player. Fifth round. You could find defensive tackles. So I can get a defensive tackle in the third round or a guard in the second round. And if Genty is there, yeah, I'm with you on that one. I can see that. Alf brought that up yesterday on the post-game show, and I thought that was a very interesting scenario. And you know what? I mean, I haven't gone deep into the draft and found out any more, but right now, from the periphery, that sounds like a pretty good idea. Let's see. Division opponents are always the most difficult. Just look at Buffalo yesterday or KC versus the Raiders. Yeah. I didn't think that New England would win that game. I figured that they would pull it off, but damn, dude, it took them a bit. Yeah. Let's see. Jason Sanders for MVP. Big O, this team is the longest team project for the Miami Heat. Shaq, only 3 years. LeBron, 4 years. Zoe and Hardaway, how long was it? The Zoe Hardaway years were, God, I want to say they played together about 7 years, maybe 8. Something like that. I have to go back and look, but yeah. The worst part about it was that we had Michael Jordan during that time, man. Because those Heat teams were pretty good, bro. And Riley was coaching his ass off, man. Chop is ballin', human drill bit. Yes, he is, sir. Joseph's, thank you. Thank you for the compliment. Appreciate you, my brother. Big O, is there any more meaningless than winning record where the team only beats poor teams with losing records and cannot beat any good teams? That's kind of what we've been for many, many years. Most of our records are stuffed by teams, middling teams. It's kind of who we are. That's why they get nowhere in the playoffs. That's the interesting part. That's the correlation you can make. Because you don't beat good teams, because you can't beat them on the road, and because you can't beat them in hostile situations or late in the season, all that, this is a reason why you never make deep playoff runs. This is why you just show up in the playoffs and then you get spanked and sent home in the first round. That's it. That's the reason. So the day you start seeing them beat good teams and beat them on the road and beat them in cold weather and beat them late in the season, all those different scenarios, then you'll start seeing them make deep runs in the playoffs. Bert Esworthy says, Big O, my son and grandson and myself were at the game. This team and coach can win. People need to stop firing. I'm very confident. Well, Bert, you're going to get your wish because nobody's getting fired, and we'll see if they can build on that, my brother. Let's find out. I'd love to be wrong and that Mike McDaniel turns into a hell of a coach. Devin Jordan is back. Thank you, sir, for the love in the super chat. Big O, it's like Ross is satisfied with being a mediocre team. It's a huge middle finger to the fans. You know, Devin, a buddy of mine said the same thing. Did you see Ross throw the ball to Mike McDaniel? How can he do that? How can he be happy with this shit? I wouldn't even be in that locker room if I was Stephen Ross. And I was like this. I was like, okay, I get it. I get it. Because if it's year after year after year, you kind of get tired of the same shit. So I totally understand. Like I said earlier on the show, none of us can blame anybody for how twisted they feel because of this. If they don't want Tua, or if they don't want Ross to own the team, or if they want the front office gone, or if they want the coach gone, or they want them all gone, or any combination or whatever, or frustrations that this season should have been better and all, whatever it is, everybody's justified. Everybody's justified. And if you're unhappy that Ross is happy, you're justified. Everything that Devin Jordan said is 100% accurate. That definitely is the feeling for a lot of fans. Like, yeah, no, this guy's just cashing in. He doesn't really care about winning. That we're the same team we've been for a long time, and he doesn't see it. That's what a lot of people are saying right now when they see that scene. Yeah. The Mountain Man says, Big O, wouldn't it be nice if the Miami Dolphins had an actual wide receiver with height? Jesus, dude. Amen to that, bro. God. Pablo, Big O, I have a bad feeling that Ross is keeping the band together. Oh, yeah. Hell, I heard that there was a plane flying around telling, yes, there was a Fire Greer plane yesterday. Big deal. That always happens when they hate the coach, they fly the plane. But they're bringing everybody back. There's no doubt about that. We need to draft strong pass rushers. I don't think that's what's going to happen, bro. If Chop, Phillips, and Chubb are coming back, pass rushing is not a priority, and they have Kamara. I don't think pass rush is a priority. I think defensive tackle, linebacker, guard, those should be the priorities. They have pass rushers, actually. Let's see. I don't see Greer drafting a running back in the first round. Well, One-Eye Jack, that's his MO, so you're right on that. Give me a Zach Martin type guard in the first. Oof, that would be nice. That's a beast of a player. Was a beast of a player. He's not that guy anymore, but yeah. Ross is earning earning on the team, so he doesn't care about the W's as much. He cares about the profit. Sadly, the band will be back next season because they will use Tua being out as an excuse. LB, hard to argue with the way you feel, bro. Big O, I was at the game. Great win, very loud. I agree. We need fat guys in the offseason, and we can beat good teams if McDaniel can call better games next year. Let's hope so. Big O, you missed my playoff scenario on my first comment on top. I think you'll agree. What do you put? Where's a true Fin fan? Playoff: Colts lose, Broncos lose, Chargers lose, sun turns blue, my dog stops licking his nuts, I stop farting, and Big O starts liking Jimmy Johnson. Simple, doable, and most of all, logical. Yep, guaranteed that happens. That's too much. That's too much. By the way, we will not be working on Wednesday, okay? So we're going to be off on Christmas Day. You know, Sean deserves to be with his family and relaxing. My family, I'll be with them. Not that they really want me to be with them, but, you know, I'll be there, whether they want me there or not. So no, we're off on Wednesday. So Thursday, we'll be back on Thursday for the Hialeah Park one. So how do I feel about next season? Not good. Not with McDaniel coming. You know what? If they make the playoffs and win a game, then I can feel better about next season. That's about the only way I'm going to feel better, to be quite honest. And they're not making the playoffs. You know, I just don't think that all that shit is going to really work out for them, like always. And I hate, again, you want to know when you're going to see our beautiful team become that team that we all want them, when they don't need to back into the playoffs, when they don't need help to get into the playoffs, when their record, they've already clinched the playoff spot at this point. They've already beaten several good teams on the schedule because they've got 11 or 12 wins right now. Know what I'm saying? That's when you know our Dolphins have a chance. But if we continue to be this Dolphins team, which is what we've been for many, many decades now, the one that can barely get in or barely, you know, or barely miss it and needs help and always needs somebody else's help or whatever, you know, it's hard to feel good about that. There's no way I can feel good about that. I'm sorry. No way. So, yeah, it's hard for me to feel good about next season. Oh, it's funny that us older fans are on the same page about how we interpret Ross's move yesterday. It's all about perspective, I guess. Yeah. Unless you want to just convince yourself of whatever, you know. Everything will work out and all that kind of stuff. And you got to have hope and all that. And, you know, the Dolphins are getting a break in Cleveland next weekend. It's supposed to be in the 50s here in South Central Pennsylvania with 6 degrees. They're getting a break because Cleveland sucks. The one I'm worried about is the one after the Jet game, because that's the one that I've had that pain. I'm on board with a stud middle linebacker as well. It seems middle linebacking position has been devalued by certain teams like the running back position. Yeah. Yeah. And Miami needs another guy next to Brooks. So the more you resist change, the more things will stay the same. The problem is they've constantly made change and they've been the same. So we've been the same whether they hire a Hall of Fame coach, a Hall of Fame college coach, the hot coordinator offense, the hot coordinator defense. It's It doesn't matter. We're the same if we make changes after keeping somebody for 6-7 years like Dave Wannstedt. We're the same if we make a change after 1 year with Cam Cameron, after 4 or 5 years with Joe Philbin, whatever that was. That's the screwed up part. We have tried everything, and we're still the same every single time. So when somebody tells you, oh, well, we need to do this, we've already tried it all. We've kept the guy long. We've cut the guy right away. We've cut the guy 4 years in. So 1 year, 3 year, 4 year, 7 year. I don't know what to tell you. We've tried it all, dude. We've cleaned house. We've brought in the general manager only. We brought in the coach only. We've done it all. None of it has worked. When Parcells came in, clean house. When Jimmy came in, clean house. And then some of the other ones were, you'd piecemeal. You keep one, get rid of the other, and then none of it has worked. That's the hilarious part, too, that some of us in the Dolphin Nation, we have selective memory, and we make it sound like we've never tried this. Oh, no, we've got to go find an experienced coach. Yeah, we've done that already. We've done the experienced coach. We've done the Hall of Fame experienced coach. We've done the Hall of Fame college coach. We've done it all. We've done the hot offensive coordinator, the hot defensive coordinator. We've done it all. And we're always the same thing. Screwed up, dude. Let's see, what else do we have here? Big O, I just started watching What Was the Big Decision. I just said it a little bit ago, so you're going to have to rewind. I remember when the Dolphins were 9-3, and I thought we were going to win the division, but had a total meltdown towards the end. Yeah, you're talking about, no, it's 9-2, and they lost 5 in a row. Yes. I actually talked about that earlier. And Marino and company went 9-2 and then lost 5 in a row. That's Miami Dolphins football, baby. That's been going on with everybody, even Marino. Big O, our fans are like Keith Sweat, twisted. Adolfo, Big O, when you said we've tried all, I agree, but there is a big difference. Now we have a QB. In the past, the part that was missing, I'm not including the Marino era, sorry, but I'm not from that time. Well, see, here's the thing, dude. You're right, they got a QB, but you had a QB with Marino and you didn't have a running game. You didn't have a defense. So, it's kind of tough. And right now, you've got a QB, but you don't have a running game, and you still don't have a defense yet. And by the way, you don't have an offensive line. So it's really hard to win anyways. It's tough, man. It's tough. We need the whole combination. You got to have a defense. You got to be able to stop the run. You got to be able to run the ball. And now you have your QB, you'll be fine. But if you don't have those other elements, you just make it impossible for the QB. Marino, Tua, I love Tua. I think he's a fantastic passer. He's not Marino. And Marino needed the help, or if not, he was going to be John Elway used to do pretty damn good because he was athletic. Hell of a player, but he would get his ass kicked in the Super Bowls. And until he got a defense and a running game. And he was a great player. And he was called a choker and all that. And it was unfair to him. If he didn't end up getting Terrell Davis and that defense in the latter part of his career, John Elway would have had a terrible reputation as a great talent. Oh, yeah, dude. great talent. What an arm. He can move around. But, dude, what a choker. He never won in the big games. He got embarrassed. And they would have blamed him. And it's really not his fault. He did the best he could do with what he had. And then when you gave him what he needed, you know, and and Tua will never be John Elway, dude. Never in his life will he be John Elway. Not even close. John Elway was a bad mother effer, man. He can move around, tough, and he had a rocket of an arm and was accurate. But a rocket of an arm. And he got thoroughly embarrassed over and over and over again in the Super Bowls. Because he was a freak talent, but he could only do so much. It was a bad conference, but he would get there, and the NFC was so superior, there was no competition. And then he finally got the kind of team to complement his talent. And they were unstoppable for a couple seasons. They were easily the best team in the league. Everybody needs a complete team, man. That's how you win. You got to have some help, you know? So we'll see. That's been our story for 40 years. We never have the combination. We have the defense, but then you don't have the offense. You have a quarterback, but you don't have the running game or the defense. You know, it's just so you have a running game, but you don't have a quarterback. Just weird, man. Weird. We just can't get the whole combination right. But you're right. At least they do have a QB now. They've just got to be able to get the rest done, and they'll be all right. Let's see. I was at the final game in 93 in Foxborough when we lost in overtime. I am a very frustrated fan, Big O. It's like our glass ceiling is almost good enough. Yeah. Mountain Man Fishing, only the Jets can get Hall of Fame QBs Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers and still be losers. But they are getting them at the end of their careers, you know, when there wasn't much left. Adolfo says, not sure if you agree with me, but the defense this year needs a pass. Oh, for sure, dude. No pass rushers? Yeah. No. I have no problems with Weaver whatsoever. Next year, you get your pass rushers. Now I need to see you do better. You know what I'm saying? Plus, I feel bad for Javon Holland, and I feel bad for Weaver because Poyer was a bust, and I don't know what happened to Javon Holland, but the 2 knee injuries from last year, they took a toll on him. Something happened to Javon Holland. He is not the same player he used to be. So it's hard for Weaver to work with that when your safeties are not good. In fact, your safeties are very mediocre. That's rough, dude. That's rough. Depending on QB, who has a quick release to overcome a subpar O-line ass is backwards, rather than a physical badass O-line to protect the QB and develop a consistent running game. Right. And because he also has the quick release and the quick radar, that's another plus, you know. But you've got to run. You've got to run. Alden says, big ups from New Orleans. Hello to you, sir. Love to go to New Orleans and hang out for a couple days and party. You know what? I want to go. I got to go back with the wife. The last time I went to New Orleans with the wife was it was 97, and we're coming back from San Francisco. I remember that. And then before that, she and I went to the Sugar Bowl when UM lost to Alabama. George Teague stripping Lamar Thomas the ball and all that stuff. Yeah, but I haven't been to New Orleans with her in a long time, and we need to go hang out and hit the bars and go check out live music and stuff like that. Have some fun. I love Bourbon Street, to just go out and hang out and party for a night or two. I don't think I could be there a long time, But for a night or two, great place to go hang out and have some fun, man. Let's see, what else do we have? Oh, in 93, Marino tore his Achilles, and we won in Dallas on Thanksgiving. That's it. Yeah, but that was thanks to Leon Lett's dumbass play. Thank you, Leon. Big O, what do you think of the Dolphins can add Budda Baker at safety? He's an impact player and can help the secondary. Well, we shall see. We shall see. Oh, he did? He signed the extension? Well, there you go. So then I guess they won't be doing it. I don't know if they'll pay big money for safety. Maybe they draft one. Who knows? Who knows? But if they're going to pay some big money, I want it to be a guard or a defensive tackle or a linebacker. I think those are really needed in a big-time way for the Dolphins. I remember back in 93, we hosted the AFC Championship game at Joe Robbie, and we stunk it up and lost 29-10 to the Bills, who were a machine, but we had them at home, and I was there. Yeah. They owned our ass back in those days. Yeah. Oh, would you bring back Holland on a one-year deal? I don't know what the tag is. If I can slip them in on a tag, or if I can do it for less, even better. I might take that chance because, listen, I'm a Holland guy. I've been a Holland guy from day one, but I can't argue right now. He does not look like himself, dude. I don't know what happened to him, but he does not look like himself. So I don't know what the cap situation completely is going to be. And remember, I explained that stuff about Chubb yesterday on the postgame show. You guys may want to check out the postgame show because there's a bunch of stuff that I addressed also. So a couple rants there and everything that I'm sure Sean will be able to get out of that one. So you may want to check out the postgame show yesterday because there was a lot of stuff that we talked about, especially the Chubb stuff that you may want to check out before it happens on Wednesday, and you'll know what I'm talking about, and we'll probably address it later on in the week. Yes, sir.
Just so you know, the Chubb's in the pregame.
Oh, the Chubb. Okay, so the Chubb rant is in the pregame. There you go. So there you go. All right, folks, we are out of here. We appreciate you. Ira Winderman will join us tomorrow. We'll be off on Wednesday. Thursday will be at Hialeah Park. Friday will be at Acura of Pembroke Pines. We thank the great Sean Stanley. We thank all of you that tuned in. Those of you that sent in a super chat, thank you. Cash App, Venmo, or PayPal, thank you, thank you, thank you. Visit our amazing sponsors, okay? Please visit our amazing sponsors. They get it done for us, like Welt and Rayom, like the Big Cheese. Go to BigCheeseMiami.com. Go visit Gary, Billy, and all the great people out there. We shall see you tomorrow morning. Same time, same place, same bat channel.
This is the Big O Show. This is the